Hello, and welcome to episode 140 of From Impossible to Inevitable. I am your host, Megan Bauer. Thank you so much for joining me today and pushing play on today's episode. This has been such an interesting journey of an episode for you, and I love sharing the behind the scenes of all of these episodes. I find it so fun and so interesting, so I love to share that with you. And this episode on discontentment has been so difficult to record, and it's been difficult not because I'm not excited about the topic or not because I don't have things to say, because I have plenty of things to say. It's been interesting because as I have recorded, I have continually hit against this wall of feeling discontentment around how the episode's going, the way I've delivered it, the things that I've said. I've hit this wall and it's been like, how is it that I feel so much discontentment around recording an episode on discontentment? Like, the universe is hilarious, absolutely hilarious. So here's been the interesting, right? I am absolutely determined to give this episode to you because I think it is so important, right? Discontentment. We're talking about honoring your discontentment. And to honor your discontentment means to look at it. Like, don't ignore it, look at it, validate it, and if you need to, get curious about it. Discontentment to me is an indicator of an opportunity for a different choice. So as I've recorded this episode and felt discontented about the way it's going or the way I've delivered it or the things I've said, whatever it is, as I have done that, I have hit stop tons of times and I've been like, okay, I'm not happy with how this is going. Why? Why? And this is an opportunity. I'm stopping. I'm taking a moment to stop and really look at the discontentment, really be like, okay, this is how I'm feeling, and that's okay. And what do I want to do differently? How do I want this to go? What am I saying or not saying? What's the delivery like? What's the flow like? Do I need to go take a walk? Do I need to take a break? Do I need to record this later? Is there something else I should record? I'm taking that time to honor the discontentment, to give it the attention that it needs. I'm not staying there though. I'm not throwing in the towel. I'm not like, yeah, I didn't like how it was going and so I just quit. I'm not doing that either, right? Through doing the podcast enough and feeling as connected as I feel about the podcast, I know what it feels like to have something else to talk about. Like, this isn't it. This isn't my topic for today. I know what that feels like. Discontentment is so my topic for today. And I know that. And so it's been really interesting to be like, okay, well, what is it that I'm saying or not saying that I should or should not be saying? And how can I do this so that it'll be of the highest service for whoever listens to it? And the highest service for me too, because maybe there's a takeaway that I need that I have not been previously considering. So this discontentment is an indicator of an opportunity to make a different choice. We have discontentment in our lives about a myriad of things, right? And before we dig in, I want to take a second to address that there are things in our lives that we are discontented about that are other people's things, right? Other people's behaviors, other people's lives, whatever. We can choose to be discontented about that, or the choice that we get to make, because we still get a choice. The choice that we can make is to focus on something else. Focus on the love you have for that person. Focus on the gratitude you have for that person. You can also choose not to associate with that person if that feels right to you. You still have a choice around this discontentment. It just isn't actually changing their life, their behavior, their whatever, because that's not yours. It's changing how you view the situation. It's changing what you focus on. It's changing your actions and your behaviors in regards to that situation. That's how you deal with that sort of discontentment. But I truly want to focus the episode on being the things that you're discontented about in your life that you can do something about. The things that are bothering you about your life that you can do something about. So there are the really simple things. There are like the dumb stuff, right? The things that I love this contradiction. They're the things that don't matter, but they do matter, right? So let me give you an example of something that doesn't matter that does matter, because I get that contradiction. So I don't like to wake up with dishes in the sink. I don't. It starts me off as like there's already something to do. It starts me off heavy, right? Like I love to wake up with an empty sink. And I get that. It's so inconsequential. It so doesn't matter. Yet, in the morning when I see an empty sink, it matters. I'm like, oh, I love that. That feels good. I love that. So that's something that doesn't matter, yet it matters. Now, obviously, like in extenuating circumstances, I don't get mad about the dishes. Actually, I never get mad about the dishes in the sink. But I mean, there are situations in which like, yeah, like we got home late from whatever and we've been gone all day and there were still breakfast dishes in the sink and we're exhausted and blah, blah, and it doesn't matter and whatever. Like we can put it in perspective, right? But I know that waking up in the morning and seeing dishes in the sink starts me off heavy. And so that's a spot that I can have discontentment about. Now, there are days where I'm like, I'm not going to wake up that way and I will do whatever I need to do to make sure that the sink is empty before I go to bed so that I can have the experience that I want in the morning. So that's a way to deal with it, right? And then there's also the days where I'm like, oh my gosh, I am exhausted. I am exhausted. I hate waking up with dishes in the sink, but I'm too tired and I just decide I don't care. But the thing is I always care in the morning. So this is something that you can totally do something about. And we come to these and we make these choices, right? So like the days where I'm like, I'm exhausted and I'm going to do the dishes real quick because it's only going to take like 3 minutes and I will wake up feeling better. And so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then I also have the choice of screw it, I don't care, I'm going to bed. It's okay to make both choices in regards to your discontent. It's okay to 100% do something about it, and it's okay to just bag it and go to bed. The thing is when we do it without the conscious thought, when we are like allowing this discontentment to, just overrun our lives and continually choosing to just bag it. That's where the problem is. When we're like, I just hate my life because there's always dishes in the sink and blah, 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 and whatever, and you just pile it all on. And yet, you're never making the choice to do the dishes, as it were. You're not making the choice to do it. Now, do notice that I didn't say, anything about Jake not doing the dishes. I know I can ask him. I can be like, will you please do the dishes tonight? And he would lovingly do so, and that would be great. But I'm taking that responsibility on of like, I either ask him or I just do it. Or I just don't and I let it be. And it's like, it's going to be what it's going to be. And that's fine. But I'm making a deliberate choice there. And I don't wake up. If I wake up and there's dishes in the sink, I'm not mad at Jake. I'm never mad at Jake about that. Sometimes I'll be irritated if I did do the dishes before I went to bed and then he stayed up and ate and then there are dishes in the sink again. I get a little irritated about that because I did the dishes so that the sink would be empty and then he put more dishes in the sink after I'd gone to bed. I will get irritated about that situation. But if I choose to go to bed with dishes in the sink and then there's still dishes in the sink in the morning, I can't be mad about that because I didn't do it. I don't put that on him. It's like my actions and my behavior, so I get to own that. Okay, so this discontentment, I get it. That's a really simplistic source of discontentment. We have much bigger sources of discontentment in our lives that are indicators of an opportunity for something different. You get to make a different choice in regards to this. And when you get to make a different choice, or when you choose to make a different choice in regards to this place of discontentment, you get to have a different experience. You get to feel different. You get to have a different experience. I can't say it better than that. But the thing is before you can change whatever it is about your discontentment, you have to believe that something else, a different experience, is possible for you. Now, just to make sure we're in the right direction here, we're talking about things that you can actually do something about. We're talking about your life, your environment, your behavior, the way you feel. We're talking about the things that you can do something about. You have to believe that there is something different available to you, that is something different that is possible for you in regards to these things that you feel discontent about. There's something else. You have to believe that that is critical. It's not optional. If you have something in your life that you do not like, it's causing you this discontentment, in order to make a change that will improve things, you have to believe, you have to believe that an improvement is possible. If you don't believe an improvement is possible, you're not going to make a change and nothing will change. So do what you have to do to make sure that you believe that something is possible for you. And that may include, debunking some excuses. It may include, looking at your limiting beliefs and asking yourself, like, is this true? Is this ultimate truth with a capital T? And if it's not, which it probably isn't, because limiting beliefs are rarely capital T true, then you have to believe that it's possible for you, right? So you debunk your excuses, you work through your limiting beliefs, you get to this place where something different is possible for you. And then you can make a change. You can have a different experience. Now, sometimes we stay in this discontentment because it's familiar. We know exactly what we don't like about it. We know why we don't like it. And we're a little bit afraid that if we make a change, we're just going to be switching to something else that we don't like, but it's going to be an unfamiliar, I don't like this. This is such an interesting fear, and I find it so interesting when it crops up in my own life, because it's like, okay, why am I scared of not liking something else? Like, I already know I don't like this, so why don't I make a change, try something else, and if I don't like that, guess what? I can make another change. I can try something else. And I feel like, at least for me specifically, and I know this might resonate with somebody out there, I feel like we've got to make the right choice, the like capital R right choice, that the choice of all choices, it's never going to be a wrong choice, whatever. And until you're ready to make the capital R right choice, you shouldn't make any choices. Well, that's not really how it works. Like, all of life is a trial and error, I think. And we've got to make choices. We've got to try things in order to figure it out. And this is also a situation where something worked for a while, maybe a long time, maybe all your life, and now it doesn't work anymore. It was great then, and now it's not great anymore. And that's probably because you've grown, you've changed, you've become a different person, and now you've outgrown that thing, and now it's a source of discontentment, right? So think about this analogy. We've got, maybe your pants are too tight. This is the analogy we're going through. Your pants are too tight, okay? This could mean that you need to make healthier eating choices. It could also mean that if you're a pregnant woman, you need to upgrade to some maternity pants. It's not necessarily a bad thing that your pants are too tight. It's really what what's I can't think of the word. The context, that word, it's really the context of it, right? Like being discontented about, the school that your kids are in is an indicator of an opportunity to make a different choice. Maybe you had these like deep secret desires to homeschool your kids, but you didn't really allow yourself to until you're like, okay, well, the school they're in isn't really, it's not my ideal situation for them. So instead, I'm actually going to homeschool them, or whatever it is. But it gives you this opportunity. And then the thing is like if that was you, if that was your life, if you didn't like the school that your kids were in and you wanted to homeschool, that could be great for a while. And then maybe you're like, okay, well, actually, my kids are old enough and maybe we've moved or maybe whatever, and now I'm actually going to make a different choice for them because everyone is different. Everybody has grown, everybody has changed. Maybe the situation has changed. Maybe the school administration has changed. Maybe whatever it is has changed. And you get to make that different choice. So, this discontentment, honoring this discontentment in your life, is just an indicator of an opportunity to make a change. And yes, you may need to work through some excuses. You may need to work through some limiting beliefs. You may need to allow yourself to have or experience what it is that you really, truly want. As I was kind of experiencing this discontentment with my graphic design work, I was like, this is so fun though. Like, I really enjoy the graphic design. I really enjoy working with clients. I really enjoy this. Like, why am I feeling discontent about this? And it wasn't until I allowed myself to look at this, not just the discontentment, but what I actually wanted to create. It wasn't until I allowed myself that I was like, well, this is interesting. I really like working with clients because I like working with people. I like doing the graphic design work because I like helping them improve their businesses and then thereby their lives. I like that. But the podcast is like my love because I love sharing personal development. I love encouraging people. I love bringing these topics to people. And it wasn't until I opened the door and allowed myself to make a change of like, well, I'm going to host a workshop and I'm going to offer coaching and I'm going to do these things. That was always available to me, but I didn't allow myself that, right? So sometimes you have to work through all of the things, you honor it, you work through your excuses and your limiting beliefs, and then you allow yourself to have what you would actually prefer. You allow yourself to do what you actually want to do. You allow yourself to have that desire. You have to allow yourself. Sometimes that's hard. Sometimes it's really hard. And sometimes we have a whole bag of emotions and things that say that you're not worthy or not good enough or not deserving or blah, 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 blah. Ugh. We've got all of that we have to deal with as well, which is a whole nother episode that I don't have planned. So don't be clicking around for that because I don't have that planned. I'm just saying it's another topic. So honor it. Look at the places in your life that you feel this discontentment. And don't try to overhaul everything at once. That's overwhelming. Pick one or two or whatever. Honor the way you currently feel about it. Deal with any excuses or any limiting beliefs that say it's not possible for you. And then allow yourself to make a change to what you really want for your experience, for yourself, the way you live, how you do things. Honor it and then allow the change and make that change. You have to allow it though, because you have to let it in. Thank you for joining me today on this episode. I am so pleased to have gotten through it. I'm so pleased, excuse me, that what needed to be said has been said, and that I've worked through my discontentment in regards to this episode. It was so weird. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm so grateful for you. I send you all of my love. Until next time, bye for now.